Yeah, this is fantastic, man. So good. Bro, like your design looks like something I can actually steal, for my work as well. Like, bro, this is so cool. Um, there's hardly anything, to add to this. I'm wondering, okay, from the damage, okay, so it's like he's wearing some armor underneath based on what? Because I was wondering why this part looks like this. Okay, he's wearing some, he's wearing like body armor underneath, so the torn cloth is revealing that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the damage is cool. I don't know, everybody's doing like mod. Your mod looks nice, by the way, it looks nice. I was wondering why everybody's doing mod because I wasn't like trying to make it a rule. Mod was a suggestion that somebody made in class. But it seems like everybody's doing mod. It would have been nice to see other things like corrosion, fire, um maybe like a chemical, like somebody spilled a chemical or something like that. It would be nice to see other things. But yeah, this is really cool. The only thing I'll say is, in fact, I really cannot. I was going to suggest that you make, this part a little bit more saturated. You know, yeah, I think that's the only thing. Maybe this mask, we could make that part more saturated, slightly more saturated. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say. I mean, I could even do that. Let me see. If we try that, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, but this guy really looks cool, man. Eson, the guy looks mad. Like, so good, so good. Hi, guys. So, in the fall of 2025, I got to host an 8-week masterclass titled Ethnic Character Design for Animation, which had a decent number of signups. I got to share a ton of rich information, secrets, industry insights that I used to craft an award-winning character like Noni Eyes of Wakanda. The sessions were archived and compiled into a digestible course. The course will be available for purchase on Gumroad from 26th of February 2026. If you are an intermediate level artist seeking to diversify your portfolio to include culturally grounded characters in animation, then this is for you. Thank you for listening and see you on February 26th. So, make this part saturated. Get something like this. Um, I mean, okay, let's try orange. Actually, green. Okay, so let's say this. Now this is not like, see the difference, this and this. The difference is not much, but I can feel that, the focus, like this is helping us to keep our eyes at the top. Because otherwise this would have to contend with all these wonderful details we've put here. Like there's a lot of things going on in your design that will make me want to get carried away. So I can get carried away by looking at some of these parts. Actually, mostly the arms, because the boots are kind of normal. But the arms, they look very interesting. And I could get lost looking at that. But, with the saturation at the, like the saturation of this mask, it kind of keeps me my attention back at the most important area, which is his face. Other thing I can do is, but I don't know, it's up to you, you're the designer. Another thing I can do is, and it actually may not work because, so what I need to understand is this guy a cyborg or something? Because if he's a cyborg, then it means that, I can't change, because I was going to change the color of this part. I was going to make it like gold. So but I don't know if it's a cyborg. If it's a cyborg that has the same amount of gold all over his, like if he has like golden, so if he has like silver metal inside of his body, then it may not be a good idea to have gold in only one part. But I'm just doing this to show you why I think, like just to show you how the idea of keeping the focus in the face. So with this now, I can add some glow effects there and all of that. So this is what I can send you the PSD files if you want, if this PSD file if you want it, but yeah. So now I'm looking at this, it may not be a very good idea. Another thing we can do is, I'm going to get rid of that. It's not, I don't think it's working. Yeah, another thing I'm thinking about is maybe we can give him glow. So this dude, at this point I'm just like spitballing, there's really no rule to this thing. It's just to find ways that, that makes it, this guy is a villain, so let's use red. So we can make him, yeah, like I said, I'm just, at this point I'm just, spitballing and just trying things to see if they work. There's really no rule. End of the day, just to find what is interesting. So let's say we give him glow. Make these parts like glow. It would be nice to know if this guy is a cyborg. I don't think he's a cyborg. I can't remember the brief, but yeah, I'm just, trying things out. Let's see if it works. Right, so this is an idea. Let's make it more red. I'm very used to pressing Control S, so that's why we have that thing on popping on the screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I don't know. This kind of backfired because I was thinking about using it for the neck so that we are drawn to that part of his face. But I ended up having to use it on the other parts. Yeah, because I think if you put it on only his face and you don't put it on this other side, it looks weird. So we have to put it everywhere. But anyways, like I said, this is brilliant design. It didn't really need any changes. I just added a little bit of saturation here, on the chest, and then all these glowing parts. Well, yeah, it's fantastic, you know. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to add to it. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. This mask, is it like an armor or something? Because yeah, I'm thinking what's the purpose of the mask? Is it like an armor? Because this mask thing, it looks nice. The only thing I'll say is, like, if this was an actual design, I would advise against it because I've seen people abuse this idea of using masks. They just feel like because masks are peculiar to African culture, that if I just throw it into the design one way or the other, I see it in environment designs as well. People do buildings and then you have like an edifice of the building that's just like a mask. To me, it feels like lazy. It feels like lazy design because you just threw a mask on something, hoping that you know, it would solve all your problems of us being able to identify that as Afrofuturistic or something. So yeah, it's not something I support. If we're going to use masks, let's masks have a purpose, if you just have mask on his chest as armor, I mean, there might be more subtle ways to suggest that it's a mask than having the eyes, nose, mouth, and all of that. So I'll suggest you actually, if this is armor, if this is body armor, I'll suggest you actually use real armor, like design, find other ways to create armor than just using a mask. Because yeah, the mask is kind of, in a way, it's like Sunesis, because I saw what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to use like the Sunesis idea of a mask to create body armor. Well, yeah, it doesn't really translate like that. I think there are other ways to play with it than to make it like literal mask. Maybe get rid of the nose and the mouth bits or something, or leave only, or get rid of the eyes, like just so it doesn't look obvious that it's a mask. Just find other ways to. But hey, that's design. That's not really costume coloring. So, but anyways, that's just how I thought that you can improve. But this is already fantastic, by the way. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks.